I live in Sterry Hall, and my dorm is actually right next to some of the loudest construction that I think. It starts at the crack of dawn. As soon as I wake up, even sometimes before I wake up for class, it's really annoying. And even on the weekends, so whenever I'm actually trying to study, it's really disruptive, and I don't feel like I can concentrate as much, and I don't want to walk all the way to the library to study. I feel like I should be able to study in my own dorm. But and it's like there's construction in front of Sterry too, and it's hard to walk to some of my classes because I have to go all the way around instead of taking routes that I used to be able to take.
Every day I come to work, and there are construction vehicles parked all over everything. It's quite hard to actually get into our parking lot right now. Last night during worship, these big lights here were swinging back and forth. And it made a lot of students nervous because they were kind of concerned the lights would fall, which I don't think there was any chance of, but it caused a lot of anxiety in the students at this ministry center. Upstairs, it's just a vibration. Downstairs, it actually somewhat feels like the building's becoming unstable, and it isn't. But again, it's this anxiety level that's being caused by the construction completely surrounding one side of our building. A few weeks ago, I was in the kitchen in this building, and it sounded almost like a bomb went off. And I had two students running in somewhat hysterically, asking if they should call 911 or whatever. And my first thought, because we're going into about 2.5 years of construction, my first thought is, what happened over there? And so go over, and they hit a steam line, and it's blowing mud and rocks all over our property, which is fine, and they took care of it. But it really startled, especially two of our students who were out there at the time. But supposedly when it's all done, it'll look beautiful.
The construction affects my work environment by just making it harder to get to work sometimes. And with a lot of construction, you have to go a lot of different ways and find different routes. And also, while you're working, a lot of times you hear the construction or the construction workers, you hear the conversations, you hear the tools banging against things like that, and sometimes it can give you a headache. It also affects the way that we have to go about business here, because we do a lot of different things around Texas State. We have to constantly move things around, and so it's harder to get those materials to where we need them to be. I've been working for the community relations team for about 3 weeks now. On my second day of work, as I was coming to work, I didn't notice that there was a construction zone around me. So I blindly found myself in the middle of the construction zone before I'd even realized it. And so I thought there could have been a sign or somebody could have told me, but I was in the middle of the construction site before I even realized it. So I had to turn around and go around a whole different direction just to get to work. So the construction has its negatives as well as its positives. Right now we're going through a lot of negatives because of the noise and the different routes we have to take to get to certain places. However, if you look at the silver lining, there will be more parking and all different types of things to take advantage of. So it's kind of a good and bad thing.